Dungeons & Dragons players of Reddit. What are some of the most memorable quotes and experiences to come from your sessions? Part 1. Well, while you two argue mortality, I'm gonna go dispose of this body in the usual spot. I walk through the door. Okay, do you want to open it first? No. Okay. Do a strength check, I guess. Rolls. Nat 20. Well, I guess there's now a very orc-shaped hole in that door. The absolute best one. One of my players was a warlock and he asked another player for supplies, and the other player asked him for something in exchange. The warlock jokingly offered his soul, so I encouraged him to write it on a scrap of paper and give it to the other player. What he didn't realize is that by promising his soul to another player, he lost all of his warlock powers his patron gave him in exchange for his soul. The other player eventually traded it back in exchange for the warlock being required to spoon him every night gently to sleep. One time our party was being teleported, but we were over the weight limit. One member had an orphan urchin child as her servant/slave, so I just shoved him in my bag of holding. Bags of holding only have 10 minutes of air. We forgot the kid was in there for 2 or 3 sessions. You hear a shuffling from behind a statue, and out of the corner of your eye, see a figure dart behind it. I threateningly point my sword toward the statue and shout, "Face my fury, you scoundrel!" The statue doesn't respond. First time I GM'd for my friends, they had to protect a traveling salesman named Careless. He ended up with way more kills due to them rolling pretty bad. We dubbed him Careless Rex. First, or maybe second time we played D&D, a low-tier dungeon boss surrendered. Okay, we accept his surrender. I tried to kill him. He assaulted me. You assaulted him because you felt offended by the way he talked to you. He assaulted me with words. I'll kill him. Tries to attack the boss. Paladin gets in his way and tanks the attack. I attack the monk. He tried to harm a weaponless guy that surrendered to us. Okay, fine. Sorcerer attacks monk. I attack the monk. He attacked my friend. Are you fucking kidding me? My Dragonborn, who has never met another Dragonborn, mistook another player's lizardfolk character as another one of his people. Another Dragonborn. Hail, Scale Brother! Hi? I am Karsil, son of the White Dragon, Silmarinth. I've never seen another Dragonborn before. Tell me about yourself. I'm, Thrak, son of Thwak. I guess I'm a swamp dragon. Really? My breath is ice. What element do you breathe? I don't know. He breathes in the paladin's face. He crit fails con and vomits. I breathe disease. Karsil was by far one of my favorite characters to roleplay. He was a fur trader who very rarely visited town and had no idea how anything worked. His intro to the group was the rogue pointing out that the merchant in town had been massively underpaying for his furs, and the party trying to track him down and get Karsil paid properly. So this guy says the merchant spends all his time at the manor or at the brothel. Cool. Hey Karsil, wanna go ask around at the brothel? I'm not allowed in the brothel. What? Why? Apparently only certain people are allowed to be naked there. Oh. I also interrupted some form of duel in the side room, and everyone was angry with me. His mother and dragon siblings were killed by a red dragon, and he was badly burnt. As a result, he was terrified of fire. His position on marching order was always as far from the torch as possible, and he refused to sit anywhere near a campfire. One day, he discovered cooked food when the rogue tried to get him drunk, and became obsessed. He found a cookbook of fine recipes, and it might have been a wizard's spellbook for all his understanding of its terminology, and he studied it like one. We caught one of the merchant's henchmen, and everyone needed a rest. So, Karsil volunteered first watch and grilled this guy for hours on the meaning of terms in the book. You will tell me what I want to know. I ain't telling you shit. You will answer or I will freeze you slowly. Now, what is the meaning of adding 2 tibs of sugar? What? Don't toy with me, scoundrel. What is a tibs? And where do I get one?
Are you daft?
Very well. Where can I find a swordsman to teach me the art of finely dicing? When the group got up to change shifts, he volunteered everything he knew to get Carseal away from him. Long-winded narrative about this giant, sentient tree entity that our group has happened upon. What is your name? The DM hastily searches through his notes. I know, I wrote down a name somewhere. Fuck it. I am Tree!
I have no other name, for that is what I am, and my name is what I am, and I am what is my name. Tree!
I was playing a monk, and we came across a group of low-level monsters. The specific kind escapes me, but part of their effect was a horrible smell that you had to pass a constitution check. I kept falling over and over, which caused my character to throw up. Every single round. The rest of the party handled the situation fine, but I was just this poor dude in the corner puking his guts out. Never laughed so hard in my life. We had this evil assassin character that killed a bard in this inn. Brutal murder, bloody as hell. He then convinces a casual bystander to go and tell the innkeeper, I took care of the music problem in room 205. Messenger guy gets taken by the city guard, and the assassin just walks away scot-free. I don't know, it was hilarious the way it played out. My personal favorite that never fails to make me laugh is,
It's like bowling, but instead of pins, it's dwarves, and instead of points, it's casualties.
Okay, that got me. So, I wasn't actually in this game, but I think the story is too good to pass up. The guy who regularly DM'd our games had been planning this scenario, adventure, whatever for a while, and was obviously excited about it. He was particularly excited about a certain evil wizard who was going to show up and kick everyone's ass in spectacular fashion. The group played through, and eventually, it's showtime. The DM gets excited and starts describing the evil wizard's entrance. Not actual quotes, but close enough.
A shining portal opens at the far end of the chamber, and the evil wizard, insert evil wizard's name, steps through and stares a challenge at the brave party of adventurers.
Fernie, it's your turn. What do you do? Is his portal still open? Well, yeah, why? I straight kick him in the chest back through his stupid portal. Okay, roll for it, I guess. Rolls a nat 20. Obviously disappointed DM. You plant a mighty kick in the middle of the wizard's chest, sending him back through his own portal. The last thing you see before the portal winks shut is the surprise and angry look on the wizard's face. Did I win? Well, he was supposed to stop you, or at least make it hard to reach the end of this dungeon, but his portal spell takes too much mana to do again anytime soon, so yeah, I guess. Seems like a pretty shitty wizard. Holy shit, what an asshole, I love it. Seems like a pretty shitty wizard to me. If your dungeon is a cave and it's sloped downward, then a barbarian can use their shield to sled down. We may have triggered a lot of traps, but it was worth it. One more because it's less of a quote and more of an experience. So my half-orc barbarian has recently escaped prison by starting a riot. This riot happened at the worst time because apparently some vampires attacked the city, so the guard was spread thin. Once I got back to my team, we learned we needed to find the mayor, who was believed to be in the Capitol building, which was also the prison I started a riot at, because I believed the prisoners would let me back in no problem. They were chanting my name because I told the guys I handed the keys to that Rom Dench freed them, so I told the guard captain that I'd be happy to quell the riot. He agreed, as he couldn't sacrifice manpower to stop the riot, and I was an orc of my word. When we got there, however, no one actually knew who Rom Dench really was. One NPC had the audacity to claim that I wasn't Dench. So, down but not out, I had an ingenious plan that went something like this.
A spark in the distance isn't enough to attract attention, but a fire will send everyone running to stop it.
That's a lovely metaphor.
It's not a metaphor. I need oil.
So that session ended with me starting a riot, saying I'll fix the problem, then setting the place on fire to force the guard to act. It was a great day. I had a campaign group freshman year of college. We met on Sunday nights and we were typically really tired and sort of loopy whenever we got together. Almost too many funny things happened to mention, but here are two of my favorite quotes. My character is named Sawza, the Flesh Ripper. Okay, class? Bard. Can I roll to punt the child? Sure. I got a nat 20. You punt him and he fucking explodes. I wasn't expecting that, but okay, that's a good one. The gunslinger finds a circle that animates everything that is put in it. The gunslinger tries to stab it and then has to fight his knife. The barbarian throws a chair in it and gets grappled by a chair. The alchemist lights a grenade, and that is how my party burnt down an orphanage they were hired to clear of animate toys.
I mean, really, if you can't trust a psychic fish, who can you trust?
Said my 2nd edition paladin after our whole party was cursed because I didn't know detect evil was a thing. I search the bodies. There's nothing there. Cool. I take out my knife and start removing small extremities. What? Like what? Dicks. I cut off their dicks. Where the hell are you going to put them? They'll rot.
I got a jar. Thus born, Dickles.
I was playing an Eladrin druid in a campaign run by my sister, and we had just met with a beholder who was hiding beneath the city in an old abandoned sewer system, and it was taunting each and every one of us. Then it exclaimed that we could each ask it a question. The fighter asked about his missing parents, and the barbarian asked about the lady who had cursed him. Then the beholder turned to me, taunting and sneering, asking if I was going to ask something about my backstory, since it was all-knowing. Instead, I looked it in the eye and asked a simple question. Do you bleed? And that's how we fought, killed, and some of us died to a beholder. However, the reactions of my fellow players and DM made it all worth it.